US President Donald Trump calls Iran's response to Washington's proposal to end the war totally unacceptable after reports said that Iran delivered its reply through Pakistani mediation channels earlier today. Iran has reportedly offered a limited compromise on nuclear talks with the United States, including transferring part of its enriched uranium stockpile abroad, while rejecting demands to dismantle its nuclear facilities.
A Wall Street Journal report says Iran has proposed a temporary pause in uranium enrichment and talks on its nuclear program, while Iranian officials dispute elements of the report and deny claims regarding nuclear material.
Masoud Pezeshkian declares that Iran will never bow down to the enemy, stressing dialogue or negotiation is not surrender, but means to defend national interests with authority.
Iran's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai criticizes International Atomic Energy Agency over political messaging, saying agency's role is in verification or commentary on Tehran's conduct or region tensions.
Iran has rejected a reported U.S. proposal as a demand for surrender to U.S. President Donald Trump, with Iran responding by seeking war reparations, sanctions relief, release of frozen assets, and recognition of its sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz.
Iranian authorities say an unidentified drone was intercepted and destroyed over the country's southwestern region, as regional tensions remain high following renewed disagreement between Washington and Tehran over peace negotiations.
Iran's ambassador to China says Beijing could help guarantees a future U.S.-Iran agreement, calling for the deal to be backed by major powers including China and Russia and discussed at the UN Security Council.
Iran warns Britain and France against deploying warships near the Strait of Hormuz, with Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Garibabadi threatening an immediate response to any foreign military presence in the strategic waterway.
Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and Dutch Foreign Minister Tom Brenson discussed bilateral relations during a phone call as Tehran continues diplomatic engagement with European countries amid regional tensions.
The United States is intensifying mediation efforts between Israel and Lebanon with a new round of direct talks in Washington as regional tensions persist despite a ceasefire that followed the April U.S.-Iran truce.
After 11 years in power, Modi's hollow, self-reliant India lies exposed as he shamelessly urges citizens and businesses to revive pandemic-era work from home to save petrol and diesel amid his regime's total energy policy failure. Pakistan's immigration authorities say 2 Afghan passengers travelling to Afghanistan were offloaded from a flight at Islamabad airport after forged immigration stamps were detected on their passports.
Netanyahu's government unveils barbaric new law to execute hundreds of Palestinian prisoners as so-called Justice Minister Yariv Levin pushes for mass death sentences and immediate hangings after verdict.
Hezbollah's growing use of fiber-optic guided FPV drones is raising new challenges for Israel's military, with reports suggesting existing air defense systems are struggling to adapt to evolving battlefield tactics. Lebanese Prime Minister Nawaf Salam says southern Lebanon is suffering severe destruction from the ongoing conflict with Israel, while Beirut pushes for negotiations tied to a clear Israeli withdrawal framework.
Azerbaijan voices support for Pakistan after the deadly Bannu attack, condemning terrorism and reaffirming solidarity with Islamabad's efforts to combat militancy and maintain regional security.
Severe weather sweeps across Pakistan as storms and heavy rain trigger power outages, traffic disruptions and rising river levels, with authorities warning intermittent rainfall will continue into tomorrow.
International health concerns persist after passengers evacuated from the hantavirus-affected MV Hyundais began returning home, with new suspected and confirmed cases emerging during repatriation flights from Spain's Canary Islands.
Scientists warn that geopolitical tensions in the Middle East are having environmental consequences far beyond the region, as diverted global shipping routes increase threats to whale populations of South Africa.
WWF Pakistan has raised concerns over the future of migratory birds using the Indus Flyway, warning that climate change, habitat destruction and illegal hunting are threatening key ecosystems and biodiversity across the region.
Pakistan received $3.54 billion in workers' remittances in April 2026, with inflows rising 11.4% year-on-year as Saudi Arabia remained the largest source of overseas transfers.
Oil prices jumped sharply after the US and Iran failed to reach agreements on a Washington-backed peace proposal, with Brent crude rising to $4.25 to $105.5 a barrel and WTI climbing $4.46 to $99.88.
The China Manned Space Agency says the Tianzhou 10 cargo mission launched successfully from Wenchang and will dock with the Tiangong space station to deliver supplies for astronauts and experiments. The annual Japan Parade brought Japanese culture to the streets of Manhattan as performers, artists and community groups celebrated cultural exchange and the long-standing relationship between Japan and New York City.